1600 Pennsylvania, the White House there. It is 9:22, which means that it's already a beehive of activity. The president probably has been up for many, many hours working, and when the president is up, everyone else needs to be up and working as well. We're getting ready for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. It's going to ring here in about 7 minutes. I can tell you that pre-market trading not looking so hot at the moment. Look at that. The Dow, S&P 500, and the Nasdaq are all in the red. There's really only one bright spot there on our board. So hopefully that will change the moment the opening bell rings. We'll take you there to the New York Stock Exchange here in short order. First, though, let's get you over to Emily Finn. Hey, Emily.
Hey, Terrence. All right, it is time for our daily dose of dollars and common sense with American Sunrise Early Edition host and the guy behind the Jake's Takes Substack, Jake Novak. Jake, always great to have you on the show. So the last of the big retail chains to report is Walmart. We've been doing this for the past couple of days here. Want to get their report card. How did the biggest brick and mortar chain in America do on its sales?
Well, I think they did well. You know, their sales were up. Now, again, compare that to Target yesterday, which beat the sales estimates, but still down from last year. Walmart up almost 5% on their sales from this time last year. So that's really good news. But if you're checking your portfolio, look, Walmart shares are down this morning in the pre-market because they've got some other internal issues going on right there. They have some lawsuits that are going through. They have some restructuring, but they are very optimistic about the future there. They raised their profit and their sales guidance for the rest of this year. So they're looking at some strong numbers. Despite the tariffs, despite all the doom and gloom, this Walmart number is definitely good. And by the way, it makes Target, by comparison, look even worse. If Walmart could increase its sales, then why the heck couldn't Target? Of course, a lot of right-wing and left-wing boycotters of Target will answer that question, but Walmart looking pretty good, even though I think it's going to be down today. But remember, take a bigger picture outlook on Walmart.
Yeah, years ago, Amazon overtook Walmart as the biggest retailer in America. And you have a story that's another example of how they keep growing.
Yeah, they keep growing because they steal other people's business models, which is legal to do. I mean, and they beat them at it. Here's the latest example. Hertz, the used car company, is going to now start selling their used cars when they, because eventually they sell them away, on the Amazon Autos marketplace. So what company is getting their business model stolen from this? This is Amazon really getting into Carvana's business. Now, a few months ago on this program and also on my own show, Early Edition, I talked about how Carvana is in trouble because Amazon is getting into their business. And you know what that happened, what happens when they do that. Carvana's actually, their shares actually went up after I said that. They're down. They were down yesterday and going to be down today, though. I think people are getting to understand now what's really going on here. But for Hertz to go to Amazon to do this is a big shot in the arm for Amazon, yet another business that they'll expand. And Hertz got a nice boost in the market yesterday. They were up 6% based on this deal. So a lot of people feel like Hertz is going to get more sales out of this.
Well, Jake, the last company I want to talk about here with you, Bed Bath Beyond. They're not exactly growing, and now the chain says it's definitely not opening up another location in California. For that, they got a real nasty gram from Gavin Newsom. Tell us about this drama, Jake.
What goes around comes around. I know a lot of the viewers that think, oh, Bed Bath & Beyond, that's the company that kicked out, My Pillow and all that. I mean, they got woke and they got, paid for it. They got hit a lot by Amazon. Bed Bath & Beyond is absolutely an Amazon victim. They're not opening a lot more stores these days. In fact, they're closing more. But they did say yesterday they're not going to open another store in California because the crime there, because shoplifting is excused in that state for the most part, and also because of other business reasons. And then Gavin Newsom, the governor of the state, instead of saying, hey, let's sit and talk, not only to you guys, but other businesses, see what we can do. I mean, the guy's supposed to try to make things better in his state. He decides to slap them back by saying, you guys are all bankrupt and you're losers anyway. I mean, this guy is very, very nasty. This is a company that's struggling. They're telling you that they're struggling, among other reasons, because of crime. And again, as much as we might be smiling about this company that went woke and got paid for it and got slammed for it, still, what about the other businesses in California that aren't woke, that can't make a profit because of shoplifting or because of the high taxes? And Gavin Newsom is laughing at them. But I got to tell you, Emily, Democrat-based voters love the nastiness of Gavin Newsom. They like it. He seems to think this is going to get him elected. It might not get him elected nationally, but I wouldn't be surprised if his polls go up among Democrats in those primaries because they like nasty, and he's giving it to him.
Nasty is the perfect word. I usually use slimy to describe Gavin Newsom because his hair is just so gross and slicked back, but nasty is a good word. Jake, let's get political here for a second. Have you been seeing, it's interesting that you say that the Democrats are, They like Gavin Newsom. They like this nasty attitude because the tweets, the X posts that he's been putting out in all caps are the most unfunny thing I've ever seen in my life. Do you really see this playing out well for him?
Well, this is partly because of a miscalculation. Again, I think the base angry Democrats do like it. But the country overall, the Democrats think, oh, the reason why you like Donald Trump is because he's so mean sometimes in his posts. Some of us do enjoy the truth that he puts out there sometimes, but that only works for him. You can't copy that. If you're a Republican, you can't copy that, let alone a Democrat. And I think the big question, though, right now, though, is will the Democrats even have an open primary process? They haven't really had a democracy within the Democratic Party since 2008. That was the last time there was a real primary process for their presidential candidate. So we're coming up now on, it'll be 20 years in 2028. And I think they're going to look to choose someone. So Gavin Newsom is running now. You might say, oh, those elections are far away. He's running now for the DNC's nod because I don't think they're going to let the voters choose. And the DNC might like this nasty approach.
Frankly, Jake, I think he's been running for president for years at this point. He's certainly neglecting California's needs. All right, thank you so much for joining us. As always, we'll see you again tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, let's head back to Terrence in Denver for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange, all sponsored by AMAC.
The Association of Mature American Citizens is the conservative voice for Americans 50 and older. AMAC is fighting for the values that you hold dear. Join today. Together, we can write the course of America.
We're keeping an eye on the stock markets for you as the opening bell there at the New York Stock Exchange is set to ring in less than a minute from now. We, of course, will take you there when that happens. As you can see, it's already been an up and down morning in pre-market trading. The Dow is now in the green, just barely, but it is in the green. If you may remember, just moments ago, probably about 7 minutes ago or so, it was in the red. The other indices, the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, are down at the moment. The rest of the board also not looking too great. But again, we'll see exactly how things look once the bell rings. You can see ESPN and the Disney company, which of course owns ESPN, at the podium right now. They are applauding, and momentarily you will hear the bell ring, and then we'll get a better sense of how this Thursday of trading is going to get underway. So right on cue, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The bell is ringing, which means the markets are now officially open, and just like that, the Dow is back down into the red. If you may remember in pre-market trading, just literally a minute ago or so, we showed you and it was in the green, and now it's back down to the red. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq also in the red. Really only one bright spot on our screen right now, but hopefully at the end of the day, all of the spots will be bright and will be profitable for you. If you're stressed out about back taxes, maybe even you missed the April deadline or your books are a mess, don't wait. The IRS is cracking down. Penalties really add up fast. We're talking 5% per month up to 25% just for not filing. There is help, though. Tax Network USA can take the burden off of your shoulders and stop the spiral before it gets worse. They've helped thousands of Americans, whether you're an employee, a small business owner, or if you haven't filed in years. If you've got messy books, no problem. They've seen it all, and they know exactly how to clean it up. With direct access to powerful IRS programs and expert negotiators on your side, Tax Network USA really knows how to win. You'll get a free consultation, and if you qualify, they may even be able to reduce or eliminate what you owe. More importantly, they'll help protect you from wage garnishments or bank levies. So don't wait for the next IRS letter. Instead, call 800-905-8000 or visit tnusa.com/RAV to talk to a real expert at Tax Network USA. Take the pressure off and let Tax Network USA handle your tax issues for you. Coming up here on American Sunrise, President Trump sure knows how to put together a strong cabinet mentally and physically. In moments, the challenge between Secretaries Hegseth and Kennedy, that's coming your way when American Sunrise continues.